2 Megapops by a single tower in Bloons Tower Defense 6 on the CHIMPS mode. As you can tell here, hard difficulty CHIMPS. And today, as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, we'll be doing this with the Sentry Paragon, Champion. Wink wink. So let's just place this down and we will begin. Also, the engineer is a tower which we can place right off the bat. And we don't have to worry about upgrading it for a little bit of time. So we can get Geraldo in that case and be able to get ourselves an invisibility potion for round 24 and round 33. I ran a poll on my YouTube community page and it was quite close between the Sentry Paragon and the anti-balloon. And by Christ, I've been trying to fathom out a strategy on how to make the anti-balloon work. And well, I'm always stuck on tech terror before I can get anywhere close to purchasing the anti-balloon. So it's not the anti-balloon itself that is the issue, it's to be able to purchase it in the first place, which is the issue. Now let's place Geraldo down, and we're going towards Sentry Gun soon. We'll place the engineer on last at a moment so that we can get the maximum of poppage per nail that it shoots. Because you see the nail just flying off the screen there without getting to its maximum PS poppage, if you get what I mean. So, luckily, there's a whole bunch of balloons, and we would usually be following the first one. Because we have it on Lars, that means it can affect as many balloons as possible. Really good on a tower which has a high amount of PS but can only fly in a straight line. I'm looking at you, Juggernaut. Let's see, Sentry Gun is up, and that increased our popping potential. I am more than confident enough that we will be able to get this on our first try. The strategy I have in place will ensure that the bad won't even be able to make it to this point along with its underlings, along this point of the map itself. Like, what I have in store for you is going to blow your minds, because what you can employ for the Sentry Paragon, Sentry Champion, it's just unbelievable. The amount that you can increase the rate in which the Sentry Paragon can release those turrets and for those turrets to then explode. Like, a combination of different stuff will ensure our victory. I'm so confident in fact that we're not going to be deploying down a single alchemist in this entire run. Although I'm planning on getting a Homeland Defense at some point, so a village will suffice at this very moment. But as we won't be able to afford a radar scanner in time for round 24, we're going to have to place a invisibility potion. Oh, now a wonderful friend. Make sure to not mistake it for a sentry gun that it temporarily deploys. Otherwise, you won't be able to get to the engineer to be able to attack the camos. Alongside that, any or most buffs that you can apply to the sentry, not the sentry, but the engineer monkey itself, will also apply to the pets that it spawns down. And that goes across to a lot of different turrets or towers in general. Oh no. I've just realized something.
Yes, my friend.
We don't have enough for Sentry Expert. We should not have deployed that village down. Hold on. Here's a fun tip for round 28. Don't spawn down with Monkey Village before you buy Sentry Expert. Otherwise you won't be able to buy Sentry Expert. I mean that village was never spawned. What are you talking about? What, did you see that? The monkey village just sold magically and gave us 100% of our money back. Did you see that? Of course you didn't. It was so magical. But now we have ourselves the Sentry Expert, which means it will deploy these little boom sentries, which will be able to deal with leads altogether. Do not worry. Our problems have now been rectified. Still on our first run. Wink wink. Now that we have the Sentry Expert, now we can deploy the Sentry Village. The Monkey Village. So now, imagine if they actually Ninja Kiwi overheard us. You know what? That's a good idea. We're going to deploy a Sentry Village. We don't know what it's going to do, but it's going to be brilliant, whatever it's going to be. Round 33 has some camos, but if you deploy the invisibility potion on round 24, of a round in which the first camo spawns out, that means you don't have to worry about your camo potential running out for both rounds 23 and 34. 24 and 33, sorry. I was looking at the round number. Okay, radar scanner. Now we've got permanent camo detection. Jungle drums is up. Again, I am so confident in this that we will not need to put down an alchemist at all, because the main amount of power that lies from this tower is with the sentry guns that it deploys, not the actual main tower itself in which it can create these sentry guns in the first place. I do want to get an overclock down, but not before we can acquire the MIB, well, sentry guns, to be able to pop any kind of balloons. So those pesky purple balloons won't be able to won't be able to show their immunity in front of these energy sentries, or the fact that certain towers can't pop frozen balloons because of the cool towers, which emit the ice attack. So we have the MIB up, and now we are good to go. The sharpening stone also benefits the sentries themselves, because it's one of those upgrades that also applies to the pets of the main tower itself. Not sure why that is the case though, because, well, there are certain upgrades which benefits the main tower but doesn't affect the little towers. Like I say, trying to alchemize it, it doesn't share the benefit to the other towers. It's like temporary buffs, or buffs that are only there for a set amount of time based on seconds rather than rounds, can't spread out to its underlings. Round 49, a round that can give some trouble to towers which have a lack of pierce, but we have a lot of pierce to spare, and we are doing very well actually. I actually was a bit scared there for a second. I was thinking maybe we could deploy a Berserker Brew, but no. I'm still going with the no alchemist run here. And we're doing very well. That Moab wasn't able to get past down this little bit here where the umbrella starts. Placing down our other engineer in the bottom left corner so it isn't able to pop anything. And just put the phone down because why not? And now when we apply the overclock to the Sentry Expert engineer, not only will it increase its own attack rate, it will increase the amount of sentry guns that can spawn from it. See the rate? It's spawning much more quickly. The sentry guns that comes out of the engineer monkey, it spawns them much more quickly, and that is the beauty of this. It doesn't necessarily benefit the engineer monkey a huge amount, nor does the overclock also increase the fire rate of each sentry gun itself, but increases the rate in which they can be spawned at, which is amazing. A lot of energy sentries here. Oh, and the odd cold one as well, but laser ones are a big fan today of spawning out. Apparently the Sentry Expert deploys towers based on what round it is, so it's able to adapt to that round's strengths and weaknesses. Going for the Sentry Champion next. Let's see how this does against the BFB. Very well. Incredibly well. Yep, just like that, incredibly well. The overclock is OP with a Sentry base engineer. Yeah, literally regrow balloons, usually a big threat. Not a big threat at all. A little bit towards the end there, but not at all. And with the MIB, it enables these energy sentries to target purple balloons. Round 63, let's see how this does. This does fairly well. A little bit of a struggle there near the... Oh, the freezing there was actually clutch. Like, that was a really good freeze with all of them bunched up. Oh, we haven't even got deconstruction. That's my bad, because now these should be doing a little bit better now against the Moab class balloons. I didn't even consider that. And a little one spawned down there as well. I was thinking, surely there's something a little bit lacking with this. And I just noticed we don't have an additional path upgraded. So yeah, my bad. To get deconstruction much earlier, and also the larger surface area, so that you're able to deploy the towers out further. But also, supposedly these can fire further. But I've yet to see that actually, you know, a thing. Or maybe it only applies to freshly spawned turrets. Whereas ones which have been previously deployed down before getting the larger surface area doesn't necessarily have that larger surface area buff applied to it as well. Perhaps that is the case. 26k away from the Sentry Paragon, and we are doing God's work with these things. These more of class balloons and ceramics. No match for a Sentry Expert. Just an expert, not a Paragon or a Champion. Who cares what the difference is between the two? But I know that the name was changed because of the introduction of Paragons. That's why the Sentry Paragon was renamed to Sentry Champion. But it was just kind of ironic that the 555 towers of each class gets turned into Paragons, whereas they could have actually been in a hypothetical timeline be called Champions rather than Paragons. But because of the way they work, the word Paragon in itself refers to a lot of incremental building up in order to build something that is truly outstanding. Something which can only be rivaled by the vengeful true sun god. Okay, we're kind of struggling, but we have Sentry Champion now. And the effects aren't immediate, but they are there nonetheless. But we can still apply the sharpening stone because of the fact that the nails produced by the Sentry Champion, Paragon, are not able to pop either frozen or lead balloons. If we proceed bottom path, then you would be able to apply the sharpening stone. And from there, it would be applied to these Champion Sentries. Sorry, Paragon Sentries. Absolutely no problems whatsoever. Round 75, let's see how round 76 gets along. Just look at all those ceramics go. Just absolutely demolished by the combination of the Sentry Paragon and the Paragon Sentries. You can apply the overclock to a Champion Sentry and it'll increase its fire rate, but you don't know how long it's going to last until it explodes. And those explosions are quite useful in their own ways because they provide pops, which is a goodie. Let's see, round 78 is cleared up just like that. Just absolutely no chance. This to me is probably one of the easiest 2 Megapops that you can ever get. Just deploy down the Sentry Champion with deconstruction, give an overclock to it with an MIB, and it will just absolutely walk over everything that is provided on the field. There's just nothing that's going to get past these Sentry guns. One last little one. There we go. A fortified BFB. Just no chance whatsoever. Also, we can chance the overclock on this, even though by the time it comes around, it will lose the benefit. It's simply because it just means that more Champion Sentries will deploy out. It's a benefit even if it's not actively active, if that even makes any sense. So now Call to Arms, and Call to Arms provides a global attack increase, which benefits not just the Sentry Champion itself, but also the Champion Sentries themselves. So do that, and look at the amount of guns that are deploying on the field. Stack both of them, and you can get many of them out at any given time. I wonder what the maximum amount of these that you can deploy down. You have to combine everything, times 10 Ultra Boosts, a Homeland Defense, possibly a Perma-Brew, because that increases attack rate. I'm not sure about also increases the rate in which the Sentry Champions are deployed down. But it doesn't apply the benefits to pets, but I don't know. Next up is Homeland Defense. Round 87, and these UMGs don't stand a chance. And round 88, oh my god, look at the amount of them that are exploding. It's just such a delight to watch in a way. Oh. We're 10k away from Homeland Defense. And then our choices are pretty much open of what we can do. Round 90, how will this handle the DDTs? It's not even a question or even a chance of if I'm gonna fail. Just failure is not an option here. We have every kind of fire rate increase at the fingertips of us. Obviously, I'm a Perma-Brew though, but we can't afford a Perma-Brew here. But we can afford a Homeland Defense. And that turn things up to 21. Look at the rate of fire! The CMGs are going down! Round 93, again, no chance. No chance! You have absolutely no chance. You may as well not have been inflated to begin with, balloons. Just look at all yours. No chance whatsoever against us. This is so easy. Like, if you want to pursue 2 Megapops and you don't feel confident with any other kind of tower, just go with this support tower. This Sentry Champion is a support tower, which means it should support your other towers, but this alone is an absolute behemoth. What could we do actually that would make our time just that tad easier? I mean, we could deploy down a relentless glue. That'll help us out a little bit. Oh my god, I just seen some of the ceramics up there. I was not paying attention. Yeah, just deploy a bunch of Moab glues. I think that'll be very good. Let's see, just balloon splatter. Don't want any fancy. I even deploy another overclock down there. So yeah, I was a little bit what you call overconfident there, a bit cocky there. When I see some of the ceramics, I actually am a little bit shaken. So probably not as easy as having the Berserker brew around, but this is still doing a lot of work with Moab blues. Let's see, another overclock is to be guaranteed. There we go, and deploy the Homeland Defense. Yeah, this is just so easy, really easy. Yep, there we go. No more. Oh, hold on. Sharpening stone, Jerry's fire, and you. And we got ourselves the setup here. Lovely. Oh yeah, we're gonna deploy all those as well. Come here, bad. I've got other things purple, which you will not like whatsoever. Oh gosh, just look at it go. No chance whatsoever. And that is a very easy 2 Megapops there. Some of the ceramics near the end there were a little bit scary, but nonetheless, we've done ourselves a wonderful endeavor today. 2,036,000 pops. I believe the total count is 2,042,000. Hold on, let's look at this. So that has grabbed 2,036,000. Whereas this has grabbed 425? There may be some factor towards regrow balloons when it comes to this sort of thing. Let's see, 0, 0. Yeah, neither of those got any pops. So I wonder what snatched the extra 5,000 pops there. Maybe it's something to do with regrows. But this, if you're able to perfect it, we'll be able to snatch every single pop within CHIMPS mode. And that's not even a question. And we also have 12,000 left over, so we're going to put down some more glue gunners, Moab glues, or a snowstorm would have been ideal to slow down everything. But alas, folks, thank you all so much for watching. Yeah, I tried to test out trying to get an anti-balloon, and I swear to God, I could not get the money together in order to purchase it. But I do have another idea with it. Something relating to a 2 tower chimps to look forward to in the near future. Thank you so much for watching, and take care of yourselves, people.